Hello everyone, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world right now. And yes, it is the return to Formula One again because this is race week again. Though seeing like what happened now, like I'm quite unsure there is going to be like a race is going to happen, but don't go that far. I won't go that far. I just want to summarize like the summarize like what happened up until now. The last race was like a kind of like a good season opener. It was enjoyable, and for me as a Ferrari fan, like it's basically like a redemption. Oh my god! Finally, Ferrari win. I was able to see Ferrari winning. Oh god knows why. Like I was just like so I was like so enjoying it though. My heart broke like broke a little for Verstappen and Perez as well. Both Red Bulls just crapping themselves, which was by the way they had like fuel issues like that. As far as I remember, like there wasn't there was like a vacuum in the fuel system, which caused their problems. Not to mention that Verstappen's like track rod was damaged as well. So there is so there is lots of stuff like coming. Lots of stuff coming up for Verstappen and Perez. Basically, like you know the meme when the in that you know meme when there is like a four panel like coming which is like a Photoshop car for like a Photoshop car and the guy just says hey little fella, how's doing? Car being cutting with all of the lights being like basically check engine. Basically all the control like the check engine, ABS failures, everything so on and the guy just said yeah. Basically that's it. Although there were like some pleasant and unpleasant surprises as well last week. Well, the more pleasant surprise was like a Hassanov returning to the points and having like a strong performance. Haas was especially really happy after 2 years of misery, and it seems like their job is paying off. And Bidion. Then also like there were like some negative surprises like McLaren. I don't know what happened with them, but they were really slow. They were really slow, and they went way below my expectations. Like even with the troubles, I kind of expected them to just like score Q3, but they didn't have the pace at all, which is quite concerning. And it is basically they admitted that they aren't there where they want to be. Norris even mentioning that the car simply there isn't enough grip and downforce. As I will quote Norris that in that as they have apparently 100 points of downforce deficit compared to Mercedes, which I would say is a pretty lot. It's a huge amount of downforce being lost. That's just crazy, like a crazy amount of downforce missing on the McLaren. So they have So being cynical, I could say that they didn't have porpoising problems because they didn't have enough downforce to begin with. We should be kind of like a lie, and also like very Netflix like very Netflix like painting of the girl real situation. And this basically like basically that's what happened like last weekend. And now here comes Jeddah. Vettel is against sideline as he didn't have like any he didn't have any like negative tests for COVID. So for like the caution, like he's staying at home and recovering. And already some teams were like teams were like bringing some updates. Like for example Alpine has for example like Alpine has like quite the floor like it also like some teams like having running lower wing like Alpine and Aston Martin are running loud downforce packages, and also Mercedes as well. I wasn't able to find like a proper more like pictures more. I was very able to find good pictures about the Aston Martin. But the Aston Martin and the Alpine rear wings without watermarks, with huge watermarks. But the Alpine I could showed like the big floor. Because there's like a huge chunk of huge chunk of floor basically just like cut out. As you can see from the arrows, it is to like to it is mostly to regulate porpoising slash generating vortices, but the cutouts being like that it's mostly for like mostly for like to combat porpoising. The point is these kind of floors are just like letting some air out under the floor, so the porpoising effect can be manipulated, like it can be like eased as well. Also Mercedes is like Mercedes also had some track specific upgrade. Which I will show you soon. As you can see, like there is like a huge chunk of like the upper flap of the rear wing. Upper flap of the rear wing. It's basically just cut. It isn't straight. There is like a dent. Like there is like a dent in them. Then there's like a dent cut out of it. If I like upscale the picture, you can see it better. Don't mind the points. The points are those points are like mostly for a reference for FIA, so they can check how much the rear wings are bending. And basically the reason they were using it is to reduce drag, and reduce drag without like having having to redesign the whole rear wing. It's more of like an easy way to reduce drag and also gain some speed on straights, because Mercedes are having like a speed troubles as well, and they are struggling with porpoising, and also their straight line speed is not there where they want. part of the reason is porpoising, but it's also that they are running currently like much higher. They are having like a higher drag. Their car is quite draggy, as far as the reports say. So they are like going so they are going to like to have some measures like this to reduce drag. Okay, and this image is like more shows it more clear. Shows it more clear like what with the rear wing, like the upper flap is just like you know like it will be just like straight between the two like the DRS hinges. Between the two DRS hinges, but as you can see, there are like more curves. There is like a little bit of dent, a little bit of like a curve. It is moving. How should I say this? The flaps, the rear flaps is like getting narrower, at in the middle, and it only extends towards the edges. Basically, that's how like Mercedes were working around their drag issues. So, sadly, like I didn't have like enough more image, more image about the cars. I found lots of good comparisons, but that would also had watermarks. So like I don't I didn't feel like it would be right to use it. Okay then. This was the lead up for this weekend, and here comes free practice 1 and 2. Now here comes the spicy part. As how should I say this? Shit show is getting started and he's not looking good. Basically around free practice 1, there was like an attack. There was like an attack on an Aramco facility. The rocket attack on the Aramco facility. We should be like we should be less of a concern if that facility wouldn't be near at the track. Like it just happened like a few miles away from the track, like a 45/60 minutes ride between the track and the facility. And it is really hard to talk about the weekend because of this issue. This is quite scary. Like don't forget that last year like Formula E was like racing at Riyadh. And there was like a missile interception in the air, but that one happened after the race, which is basically like a closing procedure of the weekend. But this attack has happened fairly before the weekend, so. That discussing troubles whether the race should be had or not. Like currently there won't be no press release and no press a press session, like interviews with the drivers right now. As far as I was seeing the news after free practice 2. Which has only ended a few minutes ago, and and it's basically unknown yet whether the race weekend will go on or or not. Uh, which is kind of troublesome because on moral grounds is the race should be called back because it's first dangerous and the optics doesn't looking good. Like for example, like everything Russian and the Russian GP have been thrown out of the window, have been terminated because Russia started the war with Ukraine. Yet Formula One is visiting like a country where it's like an active armed conflict. As you can see, like this is already something like a which is hard to wrap our heads around. That's not it doesn't have like a PR good like a PR especially in the lights of what is happening right now between Ukraine and Russia. This is quite this is quite like dampens our feeling of the weekend, which have started like which have started kind of nice for both Ferrari as Red Bulls as they were topping the charts in both free practice 1 and free practice 2. As you can say, at both practice have been won by Leclerc. Leclerc, but there are also like some surprises like in the first practice, like Bottas, Tsunoda, and Gasly having like good results, and also both has like having the bottom of the table like they were last year. No, they weren't going shit. But Magnussen had like a really troublesome day. Both free practice 1 and free practice 2. As you can see, like Magnussen didn't have like a proper lap time in free practice 1. And the free practice 2, he had like an engine failure. And they haven't had like haven't had enough runs. Like I will show the free practice 2 result as well. Which like the second practice classification also shows the tires. Now that one is more representative as it had been run under like race conditions and qualifying conditions. I would say the first 6 is like the expected ones, though though it looks quite good for Mercedes, but I do think it will look as good when it comes to race and qualifying as both Red Bulls and Sainz had their fastest lap registered with medium tires, whereas like Leclerc has left a lot in the last sector. So there is certainly more pace logged in for the front runners. Or also like Lando Norris is like a pleasant surprise for McLaren, and he isn't that far away from Russell, which bodes well for McLaren until now. But don't forget it is like a free practice. This is just a free practice. Ooh, sleepy. This like and such like there could be like some unexpected results. We will know more about like tomorrow. But I don't think like McLaren like will have like that much of a high that much of like a high placement. High placements, but this time is looking good. This time is looking good for them. Then definitely. Other than that, it's like more or less what is expected, and more or less what is expected, except like Joe, if like Joe, Joe and mostly like Guanyu Zhou and Kevin Magnussen being lower than expected. That's more in line that both of them are like new for the track, and also like both of them might have like issues like getting acclimated to the track. And as I mentioned, Magnussen had like quite like adventurous and troublesome free practices. Like for just like a comparison though, comparing the times, like I will just like show it a big like a Leclerc has like a 1.30 like a 130.74. And also have some images about like last year's like free practice during this time. We just looking like this, the fastest time. Hamilton had the fastest time with 1 point like a 129.0018. Which like which truly we can truly say that truly say that like the cars have like cars only have like a 1 second deficit. 1 second deficit on this track currently, which bodes quite well for them. Despite these cars being like 60 kilograms heavier than they were last year. And but the thing is that the track itself got like a smudge faster, just only only bit faster. Only bit faster because only bit faster as the last corner have been widened a little bit, like a meter and a half. We should let the drivers have like a bit more of speed. They would able to just like carry more speed over it through the course of the track. And seeing the timesheets, you can see compared to last year, like Ferrari just like only lost like a half a second, like a half a second in general, but which bodes quite well of them. And that's what I would say like Haas. I would say like Haas like has to be the teams like we should basically like equal or gained time. So yeah. And what I would predict for like for this weekend. Blah 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 blah. It is like too early for to say like how the vehicle turn out. Like the thing is that with that missile attack missile attack nearby the track is I would say like the race is quite dangerous to have quite dangerous to have now. And also there might be some like cracks between just personally the track is fun, but that attack undermines could undermine the contract under any contract, especially if especially if like how should I say this? Especially in the light of current geopolitical and political events. We will see how they will react how they will react to it. It is it is a meeting between the drivers currently now, and we will be more enlightened about like we will be more enlightened about what happens. But I do think that seeing that attack, I wouldn't bet for quali and qualifications and race happening right now. And I would say we would be we would be like a continuing 2 weeks later in Melbourne. It's hard to tell, and also it's not the lightest topic right now. Like you could feel it in my voice and in my tone that like I try to be more cheerful. I try to be like more hopeful, but this attack, this missile attack, just like says no. Like I like if I would be like a driver, I would be leaning on canceling the race. I'm just not feeling safe. I just wouldn't be feeling safe around the track now. It's yeah, and also it's quite often disheartening. These things could happen. Just like I hope for like even if it's like even if it's like a. So Saudi Arabia is not the best place to live in the world. In the world. Yet I kind of hoped for like a troubleless race weekend, and having more of like having like a more dramatic or shit show race like last year. Like last year's if I could say the word, what would describe it? It was shit show. Actually, that is was like pretty funny to think back. Pretty funny to think back. But I think the death row which came which came before the one which broke the camel's back. Like this was the one before the last one. That was also like ending up of Maz's like not to shiny track record. And also kind of feel like a pity for Eduardo Freitas. As it is his first weekend as like a Formula One race director. And he chose the best one to start. Like what else what else could be like a best start than like a threatened race? It's just crazy. It's just so crazy. Okay then. I think I will be hang up the stream now. That's what I wanted to give through. Like the thing is like I wasn't able to predict more. I wasn't able to predict more. Like for predictions for quali and race, they won't happen. But if for some reason which we mere mortals cannot understand happens, I would say the pole position time would be around like one. Would be around like 128. They will be around like 128, 128, and the high 127, like 27.7, 789. Like, I wouldn't put my hopes on a race being had right now, especially that some drivers aren't mm, aren't feeling too comfortable, which I can totally understand. Okay then. Thank you for watching me, and don't forget tomorrow I will be streaming Honkai Impact during the afternoon, and having some more of like a Hungarian stream where I will be showing around it will be more of like a showing around some stuff. And also tomorrow I gonna be like a busy day, I believe. So hopefully I can fit everything into my plans. Like I just want to finish. I just want to go to the city, have like a shopping, so on, and also try to enjoy like a bicycle ride. Okay. Okay then. I will see. Okay then. Thanks for watching me. I hope you enjoyed this like a short talking stream, which I hope like I can bring more levity. I can bring more like light-hearted discussions for tomorrow's stream. And tomorrow's stream. See you tomorrow and see you next time.